What is an HX diagram? An HX diagram is an ideal tool for calculating air conditions as well as changes in air conditions. An HX diagram can be used to depict any air condition, and any change to air conditions can therefore be clearly illustrated. The left scale of an HX diagram describes the temperature relevant for planning and building technology with a range from -18 to +52 degrees Celsius. The scale at the top describes absolute humidity in grams per kilogram and ranges from 0 to 28 grams of water per kilogram of air. The curved lines describe relative humidity as a percentage. The scale ranges from 0% relative humidity up to the so-called saturation line of 100% relative humidity. Above this line, air can no longer absorb more humidity and condensation begins to form. The diagonal lines describe specific enthalpy. The temperature drop in an adiabatic humidification process is illustrated by these lines. Here's an example of how an adiabatic humidification process can be depicted in an HX diagram. Let's take as a starting point a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, an absolute humidity of 6 grams for each kilogram of air, and a relative humidity of 31%. Now we'll use an adiabatic method, i.e. by means of water evaporation, to add 2 grams of water per kilogram of air. The air condition now moves along the line of specific enthalpy up to an absolute humidity of 8 grams water per kilogram of air, cooling down by about 5 degrees Celsius and reaching a relative humidity of 55%. If steam rather than water is used for air humidification, the temperature will essentially remain constant. The slight warming of the air due to the hot steam is disregarded in this example. For this reason, the term isotherm has been established for this method of humidification. In this case, the condition value does not move along the enthalpy line, but along the temperature line instead. Let's start again with a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, an absolute humidity of 6 grams of water per kilogram of air, and a relative humidity of 31%. We'll now use an isothermal method, i.e. steam humidification, to add 2 grams of water per kilogram of air. At the target point, we reach an air condition of 25.5 degrees Celsius, 8 grams of water per kilogram of air, and a relative humidity of 40%.